session today. I would like to take a moment to share the disclaimer slide. So if you could read that over quickly, we can start with our practice in just a moment. Excellent. Thank you so much for your patience on that. Welcome to yoga. My name is Melissa, and today we'll be doing all levels yoga for 45 minutes. So as we practice today, just a reminder to listen to your body. If any stretches are not working for you, you can always skip them, come out and modify. And for your practice today, you'll want to have a yoga mat. It's always nice to have a block and a blanket close by. So if you have those and you can easily grab them. Also, you can kind of get creative if you don't have a yoga blanket, maybe grab something off the couch. And also you can grab something that looks like a block that can be a nice support as well. So today we'll work with a nice flow for our whole entire body just to release tension that may have built up so far today. Let's get started in standing. We'll just come to the top of our yoga mat to do a little bit of a centering. And as you center, take a moment to line your feet up in line with your hips. Try to have your feet straight. So sometimes our toes turn in or out a bit. So we'll just try to have the edges of our feet line up with the edges of our yoga mat. Let's take a release for our shoulders. So we'll take our shoulders up to the ears. We'll create a nice large circle. And then as you exhale, let your shoulders relax from your ears. Take a full breath in here. Let's take our shoulders up, back, and down. And then one more time with your breath. Let's inhale and exhale. Great. And then as we're centering here, we'll just feel that nice grounding sensation in the feet. Maybe lift your 10 toes from the mat and slowly place the toes down just one at a time. So try to get that nice grounded sensation in your feet. As you ground into your feet, maybe add a little bend into your knees, a slight tuck to your tailbone, and then lengthen your spine, lengthen the back of your neck. Reach and stretch through the crown of the head. Begin to relax our shoulders from our ears, relax your jaw, and relax your eyebrows. And taking a moment here to connect to the rise and the fall of your breath. Lengthen as you inhale and lengthen as you exhale. And then working with an exercise for the breath using the hands. So to start, we will have our palms facing up. Breathe into your stomach, ribs, and chest. And then we'll let our palms face down. And then as you exhale, let's release from our chest, ribs, and stomach. Breathing in, palms face up. Breathe to your stomach, ribs, and chest. Exhale, release from your chest, ribs, and your stomach. And then let's take a moment here just to flow with our own breath. We'll just move to the rise and the fall of the breath. So a lot of times when we link our breath with movement, it's a wonderful way of just bringing us into the present moment. It gives us that anchor point for the mind. Let's begin to bring our hands together at the heart space in prayer. Set an intention for your practice today. So intention could be anything, maybe to relax a bit, maybe to push yourself in the stretches, try to get the best stretch in each pose. There's really no right and there's no wrong intention. Let's start with our hands sweeping up to the sky. Fingers will interlock and palms will press up. So we'll take a nice full breath here to lengthen. And then gently shifting to the right and to the left. We'll just do a little wiggle here to the right and a little wiggle to the left. And then as you're flowing here, just giving this nice stretch for your spine. This helps to create lateral flexibility in the spine. And give yourself a moment to pause. Release your hands to the left. And then roll the left shoulder under. Maybe feel that right shoulder roll back a little bit and feel that the heart is shining up to the sky. Coming back on through to center, let's take a full breath to lengthen and release your hands to the right. Maybe feel your left foot pressing to the left and just notice if that guides you deeper into the side stretch. Let's bring ourselves back to center. We'll release the hands behind the body for Yoga Mudra. Fingers will interlock, palms will touch. Maybe imagine squeezing a pencil between the shoulder blades. Take a full breath to lengthen. Let's fold ourselves down as you exhale. And then try to relax the fronts of your shoulders. And then just noticing if that helps you move a little deeper into the shoulder stretch. Hands relax to your low back. Let's bring those hands down to the mat. And shake it out a little bit here in a forward fold. So as you're moving here, maybe bend one knee, bend the other knee. Maybe relax your head yes, and relax your head no. So if the ground is feeling far away, bend deeply into your knees. You can also take your hands on blocks as well. As you find stillness here, let's take our hands to the right, landing in a side stretch. Try to ground evenly through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. Back on through to center. Let's release to the right. And then reach and stretch from your left knee. Lengthen the side body, the arm, and the fingertips. Let's take ourselves back to center, back into a fold. Hands come to the shins. Let's take a half lift here. We call this one Ardha Uttanasana. Fold yourself down to the mat, and let's take that right foot back for a runner's lunge. The right knee will lower, and begin to bend and straighten your front leg. So on this one, if the ground is feeling far away, you can prop your hands up on those blocks. Also, if you are right knee sensitive at all, maybe grab a blanket and do a little bit of a padding for your back knee. And we're just going to take a flow here. This one is wonderful for your legs, your hips, and great for your low back. Straighten your left leg, fold yourself over. This brings us into a half split stretch, Ardha Hanumanasana. Try to relax your spine, try to relax your head and your neck. Left knee will bend. Let's begin to draw the hips forward and down for a moment. You may want to try to be on the upper part of the right knee. That tends to be a little bit softer part of the knee, a little bit fleshier part of the knee. Let's come on back. We're going to reset to a tabletop from here. And then as you come to table, working with cat and dog, lower your stomach, lift up through your heart. Tailbone will lower and crown of the head will lower. And then flow through cat and dog stretch for a moment. Lengthen your spine as you inhale. Lengthen your spine as you exhale. As you inhale, let your shoulders relax from your ears. We'll create that space between the ears and the shoulders. Feel the shoulder blades moving down your back. And then on the exhale, really round through your back. So imagine creating space between the shoulder blades. Coming into a neutral spine here, let's make our way into plank. So we're going to walk our toes back, have our toes curled under, and holding a high plank position. Knees can always come down to the mat. If you would like a modification here, let's take Sphinx pose, lower all the way down to the mat. Let your hands come out in front of you, elbows in line with your shoulders. Maybe reach for opposite arms here and breathe into your low back stretch. Stay here if you'd like more of a back bend. Hands will press down, elbows lift up. We'll gently wrap our elbows in towards one another. Arms can straighten. Let's come into seal. Reach and stretch through the crown of the head. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat. We'll take a full breath here. Press back to down dog as you exhale. And shake it out a little bit in your downward facing dog. So maybe bend one knee and the other knee. Let your head relax yes, and let your head relax no. So this will just be a really nice little flow to gently warm the body up. So movement is always a nice way to warm up those muscles, get the circulation flowing. And then in our joints, releasing that synovial fluid. So movement is just a little easier. Right leg to the sky. Let's take a 3-limbed dog here. Right foot up in between the hands. Last knee will lower down. And begin to bend and straighten your front leg. So one important alignment cue here is to make sure that your knee and your ankle are in the same line. We don't want our knee to be moving too far forward here. We'll just have our knee in line with our ankle and we're just flowing forward and back. If you find that your knee moves too far forward, you can just bring a little bit more space between that front foot and your back knee. Let's straighten the front leg, fold yourself over, let your spine relax. Relax the back of your head and relax the back of your neck. Right knee will bend. Let's bend into that front knee. We're just gonna let those hips soften down. So this helps to really open up the hip flexor and the psoas on the left side. That tends to shorten when we are sitting. Let's bring ourselves into a forward fold. We will take ourselves to a half lift here. Fold yourself to the mat and come on up. Full breath in. Hands at the heart space. Full breath out. Let's take our hands to the sky. This time we're going to take steeple. So that one is fingers interlock and release the index fingers. So hands reach up. Bring your hands to steeple. Release to the left one. Exhale. Feel really grounded through both of your feet, inside and outside of each foot. Back on through the center. Full breath to lengthen. Let's release to the right. And feel that left hip pressing to the left. Just guide you deeper to the side stretch. Back on through the center. Let's wander to the earth. Hinge at the hips. Fold yourself down. Take yourself into a half lift here. Put your hands and left step back this time. Left knee will lower. Hands to the sky. Let's find a knee down warrior, Anjane Asana. So let's try to let the hips come forward and down here. We'll just try to drop those hips down as best as we can. Hands will come down. Runner's lunge. Step back to plank. Move into boat from here. So we'll take reverse push-up down to the mat. Arms alongside your body, palms face down. Legs lift, torso lift, and arms lift up. And then as you're holding this boat pose, as you inhale, feel yourself lifting up, moving deeper into your back bend. And then with your exhale, feel how your body finds a little softness in the posture. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat. We're going to take a full breath here. Let's press back to down dog as you exhale. Last leg to the sky, 3-limbed dog. Left foot floats forward. Right knee will lower. Hands to the sky on the inhale. Let's feel the tailbone tuck. Feel your navel move back and up to the spine a little bit. Hands come down. Right foot meets your left. Forward fold. Half lift here. Fold it down. Let's come on up, rising for mountain pose. And then hands at your heart space as you exhale. Great. Let's try out a knee down sun salutation. It's going to be very similar to the movement that we just did. And what I love about these are they are really great for giving the quads a stretch and opening up the fronts of the hips a little bit, the hip flexors and psoas. So when we are sitting at the desk or driving or even sitting on the couch, those tend to shorten. So this will be a nice way to balance the front and the back of the body out. Let's take our hands to the sky. Full breath here. Fold yourself down as you exhale. Take yourself to a half lift. Let your hands, let's bring our right foot back. Right knee will lower. Hands to the sky. Let your hips and shoulders square forward here. So we'll take our right hip forward, right shoulder forward, left shoulder back, and then left hip back a little bit. Hands will come down. Let's come into runner's lunge. We'll float ourselves into plank and moving into a Cobra pose from here. We'll lower all the way down to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Glue the tops of your feet down. Try to lift your navel. Hug your arms into your body. Let your elbows run straight back. And create a little sensation like you could lift your hands from the mat. Float yourself down to the ground. Let's take a full breath here. Press back to down dog as you exhale. Right leg floats to the sky. Let's bend the knee. We'll stack and open through the hips this time. We'll get a nice little hip stretch in. Reset back to three-limb dog. Right foot forward. Left knee lowers. Hands reach up. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. We'll try to create a little space here between the ears and the shoulders. Let's bring those hands down. Left foot comes forward. Land in the hold. Take yourself to a half lift. Hold yourself to the mat. Let's come on up. Rising for mountain. Hands at your heart as you exhale. Hands to sky. Breathe in. Hold yourself down, breathe out. Take yourself to that half lift. Plant your hands and left foot back. Left knee lowers. Hands to the sky as you inhale. Let's feel the arms really active here. Arms from your ears. Fingers are active. Reach and stretch through your fingertips. Hands come down. Let's land in a runner's lunge from here. Back on through to plank. Moving into King Cobra this time. Lower down to the mat. Hands underneath your shoulders. Walk your hands off to the sides, a foot on one side and a foot on the other side. Be tented right up on your fingertips. Elbows point to the sky. Glue the tops of your feet down. Lifting up as high as you would like. If you'd like to keep a bend in the elbows, you can have your elbows pointing up. You can also try to straighten out those arms if you would like. A few options here. Let's bring ourselves down to the mat. Take a full breath in. We'll press back to down dog as you exhale. Left leg floats to the sky. Three-limbed dog. Left foot forward. Right knee lowers. Hands to the sky as you inhale. Reconnect with your breath here. We'll breathe in and out through the nose. Let's take our hands down, back on through to runner's lunge, land in that forward fold. Half lift here and release. Let's come on up. We'll rise in mountain. Hands at your heart as you exhale. Let's try mountain pose for a moment so hands can reach and stretch to the sky. Feel the arms from your ears. Fingers are active. Reach and stretch through your fingertips. Coming into chair, Utkatasana. Send your weight back into your heels. Let your toes be light and almost feeling like your toes could lift from the mat. Let's take our right leg up and over for eagle stretch. For eagle, toes can be on the ground. Maybe have your leg lifted for a half wrap, and you can also try out for a full wrap on this one. Right arm under, maybe reach for opposite shoulders. Press the backs of your hands together. Maybe arms wrap and hands wrap. So anytime you take a balance pose, find your drishti, find that one spot to focus your concentration and to focus your awareness. Elbows can come down to the knees. You can take eagle to the nest. Make sure that you're breathing here. So really easy to hold the breath. We'll take a full breath in and a full breath out. Let's come back on through. We are going to unwrap arms and legs, trying out warrior three pose from here. Hands can be at heart space in prayer. Maybe arms alongside your body, palms face down. Maybe hands reach and stretch in front of you. From here, we are going to work with a variation of a Shiva squat in warrior three pose. So we'll take that right foot to the left, create a little bit of a diagonal here, and then legs can stay straight. If you wanted more of a stretch, maybe take a little bend, deeper bend, maybe the knee taps down, and then we will spring forward, back on through to warrior three. Let's take that right foot to the left, little bend, and then float it through. And then let's just flow with our breath here for a moment. Good. When you complete that, back to warrior 2, let's try warrior 1 pose. So right foot back, right heel will lower. Hands can reach and switch to the sky as you inhale. Let's try to ground really firmly into the feet. We want to press firmly into our heel, into the outer edge of your foot. Breathe into your calf stretch and hamstring stretch. Let's try Yoga Mudra from here. Fingers interlock, palms touch. Full breath to lengthen. Fold yourself down as you exhale. And try to relax the fronts of your shoulders and just notice if that helps you move deeper into the shoulder stretch. For engages, let's rise up. Reset to warrior 1. Hands come down for a runner's lunge. Let's take our left hand to the sky as you exhale for runner's twist. And then as you're twisting here with your in-breath, feel your spine lengthen. On the out-breath, let your twist deepen. Lowering your hand down, let's engage our core to come back into plank. As you take plank, lower down chaturanga. We'll come into an up dog here. And then holding your up dog, gaze off your right shoulder. Look back for your right toes. Come back to center, full breath to lengthen. Release to the left. Back onto descent toes. Take a full breath here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Toes to the hands. Let's float ourselves forward into a fold. Half lift. Release. Let's come on up. Mountain as you inhale. Hands at the heart space as you exhale. Let's come back to mountain. Hands will reach up. Full breath here. Chair Utkatasana. So we'll drop our hips back and down. Send your weight back into your heels. Let your toes be light. And almost a sensation like your toes could lift from the mat. Left leg comes up and over. The left arm comes under. And we're going to try out that eagle stretch on the other side. So for this eagle pose, imagine if you could see yourself in a straight line. So we want to imagine that our toes, our knees, our elbows, and our fingertips are in one straight line. Elbows can float down. Let's take ourselves into eagle nest. So elbows down to the knees if you'd like to go there. Engage your core. Let's float ourselves up. Unwrap arms, unwrap legs, and warrior 3 pose. Finding that spot to focus on, making sure that you're breathing here. Working with your Shiva squat from warrior 3. So we'll take our left foot to the right. Create a diagonal and make sure that there's space between the feet. So you may want to have maybe a few feet between the feet. You can stay here, maybe a little bend, deeper bend, maybe the knee taps down. Bring it forward to warrior 3. And release it down. And we're just going to play with this transition for a moment. Good. Let's come back to warrior 3 and release to warrior 1 pose. So in warrior 1, try to ground into your feet. So this really nice, strong foundation here. Notice where you feel the stretch. So we all experience each pose really differently. Maybe feeling a stretch through the calf and hamstring, maybe in the hips, maybe in the low back. So each pose we all experience very differently. We'll release those hands behind, coming to that shoulder stretch yoga mudra. Fold yourself down as you exhale. And then as you're folding here, maybe looking to the wall behind you. Maybe take your gaze to the ceiling up behind your body. Core engages, rise up. Warrior one. Hands lower down, runner's lunge. Right hand to the sky, runner's twist. And then as you're twisting here, let's try to roll that right shoulder back, left shoulder under, heart is shining to the sky. Do a reset back and through into plank. Right hand to the sky. Let's try out side plank here. So for side plank, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. If you'd like to make it a little easier, bottom leg can lower for less. You can also lift your top leg up if you wanted more. So whether your leg is down or up, you can always take that top leg up. Let's release ourselves to plank. Left hand to the sky as you exhale, side plank on the other side. So modifying here, bottom leg down, top leg lifts. If your wrists are sensitive, you can always come down to your forearms. Let's release ourselves into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Let's breathe into that nice low back bend. Downward facing dog as you exhale. Knees begin to lower. Hips to the heels as you exhale. Let's bring ourselves into a child's pose. We'll take a resting pose for a moment. So in child's pose, you can have your knees together. That can help you open up your low back. You can also take your big toes to touch. Knees away from one another. Let's begin to press ourselves into down dog when you're ready. And we will work a little bit with the flip dog. So if your wrists are sensitive, you can always skip this one. This is a really nice back bend. We'll take our right leg to the sky. Let's bend the knee. We'll stack open through the hip. Stay here or a flip dog. So right foot can flip to the left side of the mat. Spin on your feet. Have your feet planted. Knees are bent. Hips are lifting to the sky. Hand is reaching up and overhead. Shifting a bit on the hands and the feet. Let's come back to a three-limbed dog. Right leg to the sky. And then right foot can come through. And let's take ourselves to a Crescent Warrior. As you sit up in Crescent, let's connect here with our breath. We want to breathe into our stomach, ribs, chest, and then release from your chest, ribs, and your stomach. We'll take our arms alongside our body, palms face forward, working with a flying warrior. So we'll keep our legs in a similar position as they are, and then just take your torso forward a bit. You can always bend deeper into your front knee if you'd like. Feel your torso at that 45-degree angle. Let's come on forward to warrior three. Spring off your back foot. Maybe imagine you could balance a block on your low back. So evening off your low back and hips. We'll come to warrior two when you're ready. Front heel lines up with your back arch. Shoulders are over your hips. Feel yourself reach forward and reach back. Ground release firmly into your feet. Almost imagine that you could pull your feet in towards one another. Let's take reverse. We're going to float it up and float it back. Back hand can glide on the back leg. Maybe wrap your arm around your low back. Reach for the other hip crease. Come on through. Let's take warrior two. Lower down to lateral angle. Maybe extend your lateral ankle. And then just trying not to collapse here into the bottom shoulder. We'll create a little lifting here and a little bit of lengthening here. Core engages. Rise on up for warrior two. Let's float it up and float it back. Do a little windmill down, lateral angle. And let's just kind of flow with our breath here. We're just going to move forward and back with our breath. Good. Let's come on up, back to warrior two. You can straighten out the front leg. Take your front hand up and back. Reverse triangle stretch. And then let's do a little bit of a windmill down. We're going to take ourselves to that runner's lunge. Float yourself back into plank, high push-up pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Let's try to breathe into a mid back bend here. Down dog as you exhale. Let's take our left leg to the sky. Bend the knee, stack open through your hips. Stay here. Try out split dog if you'd like. We'll flip that left foot to the right side of the mat. Both of the feet are planted. Hips are lifting up. And then feel that hand reaching up and overhead. Shifting a little bit on the hands and the feet. Let's take 3 limbs dog. Last foot comes through. Rise up for crescent. Activate your back leg. Press firmly through the heel and the back of your knee. Feel your leg active, engaged, and energized. We're going to come on forward for that flying warrior. You can just draw your torso forward a bit. Feel free to bend deeper into your front knee. You can have your palms face down for a nice gentle rotation in your shoulders. Warrior 3, let's bring it forward. So our balance poses are so good for the standing leg. We strengthen all the muscles through the foot, through the ankle, through the knee. Warrior 2, when you're ready. In warrior 2, it can take a little time for your body to open, but try to feel that your hips and your shoulders are squaring off to the right side of the room in time. Also feel that your hips are even. Sometimes your left hip can rise up a little bit, and then that left hip dipping down. So it's even the hips and the low back. Reverse warrior 2, float it up, float it back. Come on through, we'll do a little windmill down. Lateral angle. Move with your breath here. Core engages as you rise. Yeah, let's take it one more time forward and back. I really love this flow. It is so good for the legs and the hips to get a nice little hip opener, nice strengthening for the legs. Let's begin to release this one. We are going to float ourselves back on through into warrior 2. Let's windmill those hands down, runner's lunge. Come on back into plank, lower down, chaturanga. We'll take that up dog here, and then press back to down dog as you exhale. Knees will begin to lower. Let's come into a child's pose as you exhale. And then as you take child's pose, maybe just do a little scan here of your body. Noticing where you're holding tension. And then letting that tension go with each exhale. Coming on up into table. You can sweep your feet to the right or to the left. We'll come into seated. And as you come into seated, let's extend our legs out in front of us. Flex your feet. Press through the heels and the backs of your knees. Take a full breath here to lengthen. And then walk your hands out in front. Let's come on down to a forward fold. We call this one Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold. Maybe close your eyes. Relax the eyebrows, relax your jaw. And then walking yourself out of the pose, hands can flow up your body. Let's bring ourselves down onto our back. And as you come down onto your back, plant your feet down on your yoga mat. And then take your right leg and just cross it over. So a lot of times in yoga, we do a figure 4 stretch. So this one is going to be a bit different. So you'll just imagine that you were sitting at a desk or sitting on a couch and you just start trying to cross your legs here. You're going to work with a really nice hip stretch. It's also great for your IT band and getting into your low back. So for this one, you can keep your feet right where they're at. You may want to reach for the front of your left knee. You might want to reach for the front of your right knee. The other option is to take your arms along your body and then reach your hand for your opposite foot. So right hand for left foot, left hand for right foot. And then use a little bit of your arm strength and shoulder strength to pull your legs into your body a little bit here. Maybe close your eyes. Try to clear your mind of thoughts. We always have thoughts moving through the mind, maybe thoughts for the past, thoughts for the future. Try to release your thoughts, bring your awareness to the breath, bring your awareness to the present moment. And then remembering the present moment, the only moment where life truly exists. Let's begin to unwrap the legs, and then we'll take that opposite leg on top. We'll just switch up the cross. Staying here, reach for the front of one knee or both of the knees. And then you can also just let your arms run along your body, and then you can fold the legs in a little bit. Close your eyes. And take an opportunity to connect with your body. Notice where you feel the stretch. So our bodies are all really different. We've all been through different things, different lifestyles and ways of movement. So just notice in your own body where you feel the stretch, what that feels like, and then breathe into that. And then let's begin to gently release the stretch. We can unwrap our legs. Reach for your feet. Let's take a happy baby stretch here. So you can flex your feet, reach through your heels, maybe a little rock to the right and to the left. Nice little reset on the hips and the legs. Take your knees to your chest, hug them in, and gentle rock to the right and a gentle rock to the left. Let's bring this rocking movement into circles. So maybe find large circles here, maybe find smaller circles here. And begin to circle in the other direction. letting that go. Let's come into Shavasana. So we'll take some time to relax here, a few moments for relaxation. Pose. Letting your body relax along your mat, legs relax, arms relax. You can also plant your feet, have your knees bend, let your knees come in towards one another. And just let your eyes close here. Allow for your breath to deepen. Let me draw awareness back into your body, back into the moment. Coming onto the side, let's bring ourselves into a fetal position. You can create a little pillow with your lower arm, gently support your head, and just feel your body taking the shape of the posture. Coming up, let's land in a seated position when you're ready. And as you come into seated, hands can move into your heart in prayer, in Anjali Mudra. Ending practice with gratitude, thinking of something in your life that you are truly grateful for. The light within me honors the light within you. Namaste. Namaste. Everyone, thank you so much for joining today. I hope everyone's feeling a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more at ease. Have a great day, and I look forward to seeing you next time.
Okay, thanks.